Hi guys. So today we are going to be exploring the topic, who are you really? If anyone kind of needs a reminder of who they are, at a deeper level, we're going to be taking a look at that. So I have three piles for you to choose from today, and yeah, just go ahead and choose the pile you feel most drawn to, and let's see what spirit has to say. Okay, so I'm going to show you the piles. Okay. So this is going to be pile 1, this is going to be pile 2, and this is going to be pile 3. So take your time and choose whichever pile you feel the most drawn to, and feel free to pause the video if you need. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to jump right in. Let's see what spirit kind of has in store for you. So I'm going to start with pile 1. Okay. Move these off to the side. Okay, so straight off the but the crystal that you've chosen is one that is known for protection, um, and for feeling safe. So I feel like you have something very nurturing about you, like you might be a very protective person, or you make people feel very safe. That's something quite special about you. Let's see what kind of comes through. Okay, I'm going to take a look at your oracle cards actually first. Okay, so we have Jupiter in reverse, we have Raven Shaman, and we have the Heron with Patience. Okay, so I feel like with Jupiter in reverse, I feel like you've kind of felt sort of like maybe you weren't free at certain times in your life, or you've struggled with feeling free. I also feel like maybe you feel like you've had bad luck, but I also get that feeling that you are a very philosophical person. I think that you are deep down kind of wanting to expand, and wanting to sort of explore. I feel like you care very deeply about justice. I also feel like sometimes you sort of dim your own light, or you don't see like how important or significant you are, because I feel like you do hold a lot of importance and power, being that Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, right? I also feel like sometimes you're not aware um of how lucky you can kind of be actually, because I do see here that with the Raven Shaman, um there is something very magical about you. I think you are really powerful manifestors. You're very wise. Um, with the Raven card too, some of you here might be able to sort of connect with spirits for sure. Um, and you might not even be aware of that for some of you. For some of you, I think you are. There's kind of, I think deep down you kind of have this darker sort of quality, that might be interested in things like death or the occult, or mysteries in general. maybe there's something sort of detective like about you. I feel you're very powerful. Some of you might be Scorpios, only some. I feel like you need a lot of alone time as well to kind of feel renewed. You might be introverts for sure. I think you find a lot of peace in nature. You're also a very patient person. I feel that you are very good at working with other people too, especially to achieve some sort of common goal. I feel at this time you're trying to find the power to kind of step confidently towards what it is you want in life or your purpose in life. You could be needing some time right now to just kind of reflect and go within and kind of regain your energy and your balance at this time. You are definitely a very patient person. Attachment all tied up, yeah, absolutely. Uh, okay, so I feel like remember how we talked about that kind of restrictive energy here? We have the all tied up card and the attachment card. So I feel like you've been in a lot of circumstances in your life, or something significant where you sort of felt very imprisoned, you felt sort of trapped, you felt like you didn't know how to free yourself from the situation. It could also be that you are the kind of person that sticks to what's familiar to you, right? You get very attached to things, but sometimes you might not realize that you sort of hinder your own growth and expansion by staying within your comfort zone, right? I think that deep down you are actually quite a spiritual person, and I think you hold a lot of power, but I think sometimes your anxieties hinder you from really stepping into who you truly are. Because I feel like you're actually really magical. I think you are learning to see who you are more clearly. I think you're also starting to recognize unhealthy attachments or addictions that you might sort of have. I feel like sometimes you hold yourself back from doing what it is you truly want to do, because I do again feel like you're really creative. I feel like your imagination is incredible. But I feel like you've been through a lot. It could have been that you sort of grew up in some sort of situation where you weren't allowed to be yourself. Maybe some sort of really strict upbringing, and it's like now, as an older person, you're trying to sort of free yourself from that. That doesn't have to be the case, it might be for some of you. Um, yeah, absolutely. I think you might be having some sort of a hard time, sort of feeling into what your purpose is at the moment in time as well. Okay, let's sort of see what else comes through for you, pile one. Spirit, who is pile one? Who is pile one really? Who is pile one, Spirit? What do you want pile one to know about themselves? Who is pile one? Who is pile one? Who is pile one really? Who is pile one? Spirit, who is pile one? Who is pile one? Okay. This is heavy energy, you guys. I feel like you've been through so many things. I think you've had a lot of difficult things in your life, and maybe had. It could have been that you've gone through periods in your life where you felt sort of betrayed and backstabbed by people. You felt very disappointed. And you kind of didn't know how to pick yourself back up off the ground. I also see here some sort of situation where it seems there was some kind of conflict with someone, and this person thinks that they won, but they really actually ended up losing so much more. It could be that you were at the mercy of this person, and that this person hurt you from a place of feeling insecure from their own ego. And I think you are healing from that big time. There's this kind of message of death that's coming into the picture again. So I feel like you're a very transformative person. I think you are a person that has been through a lot of really hard things. It could have been that you lost somebody, or situations in your life have just ended really suddenly, and it's felt, you know, completely unbearable and like you were alone in this. Mm. You guys, I really want to tell you that you honestly are good enough. Like, I think you really struggle with that feeling of feeling good enough. And I think sometimes you maybe look at where you are in life and you feel like you haven't accomplished what it is that you wanted, or you feel like you've missed out on opportunities, or you don't have enough, or you're not enough. And I'm here to tell you that really, honestly, is not true. You guys are troopers. You're really strong people. You've been through so much. I feel you need to be a little bit kinder on yourselves here. It could have been that other people or these kind of things that have happened to you in the past have kind of maybe been this force running in the back of your mind, right? That kind of stops you from taking action on what it is you want or having the things that you want. I also feel like you are willing to walk away from things that don't serve you. However, I want to say that I feel like you are willing to walk away from things that do not serve you. I get this energy of I feel like you wouldn't want to hurt somebody else as well. I feel like you wouldn't want to do that. I think you have um empathy for other people quite a lot of empathy. I feel you're very patient, very, very patient. I also feel like um you kind of have this dream of being abundant, right? I feel like you are maybe wishing for something wonderful to come your way. Um, because I feel like you really do value feeling stable, pile one. I also feel like you're very cautious when somebody offers you something. I feel like you maybe want to know what it is you're getting before somebody kind of offers you something. It could be, especially in regards to jobs, like you want to see the contract, you want to know everything, you don't want to be blindsided. Um, who is power one? Who is power one? Spirit, tell me who is power one? Who is power one? Okay, death. Oh my god, you literally have a death card. um, absolutely. So I feel like you're trying to create a new beginning in your life in some kind of way. I feel like you have gone through so much shit. I think you've gone through a lot of painful endings. And I feel like you have really actually transformed a hell of a lot. And you're very, I feel, committed to transforming and maybe being the best version of yourself. Um, I feel like you're wanting to create something new for yourself here. The Knight of Cups. Um, Deep down, you're very sweet soul. I feel there's something. Oh my! Wow! Look at that. Again, this energy of transformation. You guys transform yourselves. I also want to say that I feel like you are a star in so many people's lives. I feel like people look up to you. I feel like you shine really, really brightly. I feel like you might be really attractive or super talented at something. Again, with that Knight of Cups, I do feel like you are really creative people. Um, I feel like if you create something, this is you kind of getting in touch with your heart space, right? I feel like you create things from your heart. I also feel like some of you are very romantic sort of souls. You're very loving, very kind and sweet. There's something very courageous about you. With that Page of Swords, it makes me feel like you're always willing to learn something new. You're kind of, yeah, again, you're sort of like a little bit of a detective. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you will stand up for something that you believe in as well. The Two of Cups, you're very Two of Cups in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. I feel like you are recognizing negative patterns in your own life and maybe things that have caused you to run into those same cycles. And I feel like you are trying to break out of that. You're recognizing it, right? I feel like you are creating change by realizing this within yourself. I think that you just need to have more faith in God or the universe or whatever it is you believe in, that things are going to kind of work out and go your way. Because I feel here that you are very powerful souls. And I think that if there is something that you are really, really wanting to achieve, if you know that there's something that you shine really brightly at, this is kind of your sign right now that it's time to start showing this off and start believing in yourself because you were meant to do this thing, whatever it is. The Chariot, yeah. With the Chariot, it's showing me here that you can be very determined. It's also a big sign that you will be successful in what you kind of set out to do. Absolutely. With that Two of Cups reverse again, I feel like you're very focused on yourself. I feel like you may have had relationships or connections with other people that have been maybe difficult, or you've had to kind of separate from a lot of people that I think you've loved in your life. Um, it could be that you've learned a lot in relationships too. Okay, let's pull some final messages. Justice, oh my god. Yeah, again, there's a strong sense of you being very truthful too. Standing up for what you believe in, absolutely. A random message for anyone that was needing it. But if you're waiting for something legal to come through, um, rest assured you will be getting justice in some kind of situation. That might just be a message for a couple of you. Who is pole one, really? Tell me, Spirit, who is pole one? Who is pole one? Okay. You've had to overcome a lot of challenges in your life. You really have. You've had to overcome so many challenges in your life, and I feel like you're a very persistent person. I also feel like you are recognizing that it's not worth you putting time and energy into things that are just not giving you the outcome that you kind of desire. I feel like you are not wanting to sort of waste your energy. I feel like you don't like confrontation, generally speaking. Um, but again, with that Emperor card, I feel like you are very stable influence on a lot of people. Some of you may be leaders or you're destined to be leaders. Again, you have that very powerful quality to you. I'm getting a lot of masculine energy from this pile in general. You don't have to be, but it's just, you don't have to be a man. It's just kind of the energy I'm getting. And with that Three of Cups in reverse, yeah, I feel like you like your alone time quite a lot. You like to have time and space to go within, but I feel like um, sometimes I feel like maybe it would do you some good to maybe spend time with your friends and maybe just not be so serious and just kind of loosen up, allow yourself to be around people who um, encourage your freedom, right? With that King of Pentacles, I see that you are destined to be a very rich person or very abundant, stable person for sure. I feel like you are very business minded, a lot of you. You might have a business or you're meant to have some kind of business, but I definitely see that you are a boss or a leader of some kind. Yeah, really, really, really awesome energy, you guys. And yeah, that was part one. So thank you for watching, and I really hope that that resonated. Okay. Okay, that was my pole. Let's just cleanse the energy a little bit. Okay, so let's look at pile two. Okay, pile two. Um, okay, so let's have a look at your oracle cards first to kind of get a bigger picture of who it is you are. Kind of watery vibes. Wow. Pluto. Very interesting. I feel like you are really intense people. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you are very intense people. I feel like you value the truth very deeply. I feel like you're very discerning. But at the same time, I feel like really and truly deep down, you are a lot of fun. And I feel like you want to have a really fun life and you want to go on adventures. I think a lot of you really want to travel. Um, you really love being around your friends and your family, and that kind of makes you feel empowered. Revealer of truth, yeah. So we have the orca whale and the coyote as animal spirit guides that are coming through for you. Um, so I feel like with that coyote card, I definitely feel like yeah, again, you are a really discerning person. Very, very much a truth seeker, right? Um, this is a random message for some of you, but I feel like some of you are really good at singing, or there's something about songs or music that has a really big influence on who you are. Could be that music is a really huge part of your life. Um, I feel like you're a very strong person. I get this kind of vibe from you as well. That if you kind of get angry or pissed off about something, I feel like people just need to back up. Um, because I feel like you are very intense, very strong. We have rocks and standing stones. I feel like with this energy of the rocks and standing stones in reverse, typically rocks and stones take a very, very long time to form. Um, I feel like with this energy in reverse, I feel like you had to grow up very fast. There's kind of this energy of you maybe having to be independent really fast or having to grow up super fast. I feel like you've cultivated a lot of knowledge in maybe a small amount of time, or you've became sort of wise very fast. It could be that you just had this huge transformation in your life and within yourself, and you just had some sort of rebirth. Um, I also feel like with the Pluto card, I feel like you can be secretive, maybe could be secretive with your emotions, or it could be that you kind of hold your cards very close to your chest. I feel like, especially with the deeper things that have sort of happened to you, um, I feel like you are not quick to sort of reveal that straight away. It could have been that um, you experienced some kind of death of something, or somebody around you maybe died and it completely changed your life. You experienced a lot of kind of, or there was some kind of ending or this awakening moment and you just changed, is what I'm getting. Oh my, yeah. So with man holding a heart. Okay, so for some of you, I'm kind of getting at this time that maybe there was um a romantic person in your life, a romantic interest in your life, um, that actually kind of, I feel you may have split off from this person. And I think that this actually really caused you to kind of go more deeply within yourself. It's just something I'm getting that might only be a message for a few of you. I feel like you don't show people your emotions. I feel like you keep your emotions very kind of close to your chest. You keep them to yourself. I feel like you don't always reveal all the knowledge that you have. With the community card in reverse, I feel like again you're very discerning with who you make friends with and who is in your inner circle, who gets to be in your inner circle, right? I do feel that you are very loving, however. I feel you're very deep and wise. I just feel like you don't really show this to people very much. It could also be that for some of you, you get kind of sad if you're not around people enough. They're like, you need to be around people a lot. Or it could be that you feel sort of isolated, like it could be that you self isolate as well. For some of you, I feel like you overthink things. Like you think really heavily, but you don't spend enough time feeling, or maybe going into your feelings, like you try and overthink things sometimes. You sometimes also doubt how much knowledge and wisdom you hold within yourself as well. Sometimes you kind of have those periods. But I'm here to tell you that I feel, with the thinking woman, that you are very deep, you are very wise. I feel you hold a lot of knowledge and you have a lot of knowledge to share with people. So I feel like um, you shouldn't hold that back and you should start really expressing who you are with people, because I honestly feel like You could have so many adventures, right? I feel like there is a need here for you to step into the truth of who you are. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from your oracle cards. Let's see. So you chose this kind of gothic deck as well. I feel like some of you maybe might be a little bit sort of gothy in a way. Some of you. Or you might be sort of dark. Maybe you have sort of dark features, or your personality is just a little bit dark, or you like dark things. You're not afraid to kind of go into the dark. Who is pile two? Who is pile two, Spirit? Who is pile two? What do you want pile two to know about themselves? Who is pile two? What do you want pile two to know about themselves? Who is pile two? I'm hearing spiritual. I feel like some of you are very spiritual. Um, Maybe mysterious for some of you. Who is pile two? Spirit, tell me. Who is pile two? Who is pile two? Who is pile two? What do you want pile two to know about themselves? Okay. Let's have a look at your tarot cards. Wow. So we have the Empress right away, right off the bat. So with that, I feel you are a very high value person. I want to say that. I feel like you're very. I feel like some of you are kind of empathic. I don't know why. I feel like some of you are a bit empathic. Um, some of you might be very motherly. Some of you might actually be mothers if you're not. Feel like there's something very nurturing about you. I feel like you're always looking to maybe birth something new, or yeah, like I feel like maybe you like starting new projects and doing new things. I feel you're very attractive, very physically attractive. I want to point that out. Very beautiful, very high value here. I also feel like I want to say that I think you've worked really hard on yourselves as well. Look at that. You guys are quite mysterious for sure with that moon card. So I feel like your emotions run very high sometimes with the moon card, and it feels like they kind of just come out of you, and you're like, you maybe kind of don't realize, like maybe it happens sort of subconsciously. I feel like sometimes you have a little bit of a tough time being optimistic. For some of you, I feel like maybe you're trying to get to a period where you are really happy, but it feels like you're having to sort through a few things. And I'm here to tell you that actually this is just a temporary period. I do see you getting to that point where you are really happy, right? I get this vibe that a lot of your personality kind of stays hidden sometimes, or there's parts of your personality, like who you really are, is sort of hidden. I think you are afraid to show who you really are, actually. I think you're afraid that you might scare people off or intimidate them. I want to say that your personality is also very, with the dragon here, this kind of depiction of the dragons. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Um, to me, dragons symbolize power and strength and fire. So I feel like you are, or you can be very fiery, right? Just feel like you don't really show that. We also have, yeah, with that Nine of Pentacles, I feel like you have kind of worked to a space where you know just how much you are worth. I feel like some of you are very abundant, or you are starting to really feel abundant and stable and confident, comfortable within yourselves for sure. Some of you might have been starting some kind of new project or some kind of new business endeavor or some kind of new sort of job. Um, or you've started doing something new physically. Think you're feeling a lot of fire and passion towards that. That's just a message that's coming through. I feel like you are a person that sees opportunities as well to increase your abundance and you take them, right? I think you've had to deal with a lot of anxiety in your past. I think there are a lot of things that you are trying to move on from, a lot of painful things that you're trying to move on from. Something specifically, however, maybe some kind of trauma that has caused you a lot of anxiety in the past. But I do see that you've taken that blindfold off, and I think you've started to see yourself and the situation more clearly. I feel like you're definitely working on clearing up anxiety, or you've overcome a lot of anxiety that you've experienced, maybe, or feelings of being not good enough. I feel like you try not to restrict or to hold yourself back, but I feel like sometimes your fears do sort of control you. But I do really honestly feel like you are working through that. I think you have a very strong shadow side as well. I think that is something maybe dark about you. Travel again is something that's coming up, so maybe a lot of you are like well traveled, or you really like traveling, or that's part of who you are, what you're meant to do. Who is Pile 2 Spirit? Tell me. Who is Pile 2? What do you want Pile 2 to know about themselves? Who is Pile 2 Spirit? What do you want Pile 2 to know about themselves? Who is Pile 2? What do you want Pile 2 to know about themselves? Who is Pile 2? What do you want Pile 2 to know about themselves? I feel like some of you may be into the occult or like into like witchy dark things, or you like horror movies. I feel like you might be a little bit indecisive, or there might be some kind of decision that you're trying to make at this time. Maybe you're having a hard time sort of seeing the truth in a sort of situation. With that King of Swords energy, I feel like you are like very powerfully a truth seeker. I feel like sometimes you also take on too many responsibilities here. With that Two of Pentacles in reverse, sometimes I feel like you've got so many things on your plate that you have to kind of manage and to work through. And I think sometimes that overstresses you and kind of burdens you. The King of Cups in reverse again is showing me that you keep your emotions very well hidden. I think that maybe you are starting to sort of explore deeper or darker emotions or parts of yourself, but I feel like um, you're doing this in a way that's very private to you, right? Some of you might have some sort of interest in therapy or might be undertaking therapy. That's just a message for some of you. I feel like you're very deep, actually. You're very deep. Your emotions are very deep, but I feel like you struggle to maybe show them, or you're just very private, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. King of Swords, a lot of King energy, so it's showing me again that you are um a very powerful individual. Um, I feel like you will speak and say what is on your mind, right? Maybe to a point where it's kind of cutting. Um, some of you may be um you might like control a lot, or you like being in a position of power, you like leading. I feel like there is a lot of power in your emotions. Like your emotions kind of come on really strongly and deeply, and you're like, did that come from? I think you've had to also overcome a lot of disappointment in your own life. But I feel like, if you've gone through things that have disappointed you and wounded you and hurt you, I feel like you've taken those experiences and just used them to learn and grow. The devil in reverse, I feel like some of you have had to deal with addictions or a lot of toxic people, situations, relationships, maybe. And I feel you've stepped away from that and you've realized your worth. Um, we also have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So I feel like with that energy, I feel you're very persistent. I feel that you don't give up, even though sometimes I feel like you might want to give up. I feel like you find the strength to not give up every time. I feel like a lot of you maybe have a very polarized personality where it feels like one part of you is like an angel and one part's like a demon. um Interesting, yeah, like you have one side that may be quite light and the other side that's maybe quite dark. But I feel like you're learning to understand your dark side more. For sure. I feel like you are looking at your dark side more. Um, okay, very interesting, you guys. Okay, so that is what I have for you, group two. Thank you for watching, and please let me know if it resonated. Okay. Okay, so hi, group three. Hope you're all doing well, and let's take a look at your oracle cards first and get an insight into who you are. Wow, beautiful. Okay, so right off the bat, I want to say I really like your energy, group three. um, I feel like you're a very self-sufficient person with this Earth card coming out straight away. You are very grounded. Um, you are also a very fiery individual. Because we have the tiger that has come out for your um animal spirit guide messages, right? This might be an animal spirit guide for you. It might be the tiger. Feel like you are very bold and brave, and you can be. There's something. I feel you're very protective, especially when it comes to your friends, right, or people that you care about. I feel like you are very willing to kind of step in and to fight for them. I feel like your energy just seems so wise and patient, reliable. Feel like you really value comfort. I think you value your family a lot, or your families. You value having a nice home, that kind of thing, feeling safe and comfortable in your home. We also have the links, keeper of secrets. So I feel like you have a strong bullshit-ometer. So I feel like when people try and bullshit you, you just kind of know. Um, and it could be that you've had to deal with a lot of people like this, that try and sort of deceive you, but you kind of have this very strong inner knowing. and you can see through that. I also feel like when you guys have silence and some solitude, you kind of feel very rejuvenated. You find your strength again. I feel like you do like to take out some time for yourself to just kind of go within. Feel like you are really there's something quite intuitive about you. Have a strong knowingness. We have the first chakra, Archangel Michael. Um, so with this card, again, with the first chakra being about stability, laying roots, feeling safe, right? I feel like you just have something so secure about you, and I think you feel you make other people feel very secure and safe. However, I feel like sometimes your personality might be fixed to a point where you are unable to see other options. So it could be that you're so fixated on maybe certain things happening a certain way, or you feel like certain things can only be this way, that you kind of um, don't allow other things to kind of surprise you and come in, right? I feel like there is a need here for you to see the bigger picture. Journey in reverse. I feel like with Journey in reverse, I'm getting that you like to be comfortable in one place, right? Or maybe is that you kind of want to venture off, or you want to travel and go on adventures and see new things and see new places, but you maybe hold yourself back for some kind of reason, right? Maybe it's that you like kind of familiarity so much that you sort of stop yourself. Okay, Valerie, sorry about that. I have to go take a little break. So that's what I'm kind of getting with your oracle cards. So let's see what comes out with your tarot cards. Who is pile three? Who is pile three, spirit? Who is pile three, really? Who is pile three? Who is pile three, spirit? Some of you might be earth signs, or you might be a mixture of earth and fire. Those placements might be kind of strong in your chart, or that might be the kind of energies that you give off to people. Who is pile three, spirit? Who is pile three, really? What do you want them to know about themselves? Who is pile three? What do you want them to know about themselves, spirit? Who is pile three? What do you want them to know about themselves? Who is pile three, spirit? What do you want them to know about themselves? Who is pile three, spirit? What do you want them to know about yourselves? What do you want them to know about themselves? Who is pile three? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, right off the bat, the Fool kind of just popped out at me. So I feel like you guys are very funny. I want to say that. I think you're very funny. I think you are very fun. I feel like your intuition does guide you very strongly. I feel like you're the kind of person that if you have the inkling to sort of do something, um, then you do it, because I'm seeing that deep down you are a person who does take risks and who wants to take risks, do new things, go on adventures, right? Feel like you want to have fun and be your authentic self. I see here that some of you have maybe struggled with your finances, or with feeling that sense of stability in the past. It could be that you felt very left out in the cold, or you had a sort of scarcity mindset that you have overcome. So, with the Hierophant in reverse, it's showing me that you're very actually, you are very spiritual within your own right. You are like your own best spiritual teacher, like you know what's best for you. I feel like you have a very strong gut feeling, and I think that it's best when you follow that. Some of you are maybe non conventional in some kind of way, right? You may be sort of different or quirky from other people, but I definitely feel like you follow your own footsteps. This is who you truly are. I also feel like you don't let other people try and tell you what's up, especially if you're feeling something else. You're just kind of like, no, like, I know what's best for me. The Page of Wands, the Page of Wands is a really nice energy, you guys. I feel like you're very enthusiastic. Um, some of you might be quite physical or like athletic, or you like exercising or moving around, something like that. You're very good at that, some of you. I feel like deep down you're always willing to do something new. Wow, the Two of Cups. Oh my god. This is so sweet. Um, you have a really strong ability to feel into somebody else and to intimately understand them at a deeper level. I feel that you're very loving. There could be a really strong loving connection as well in your life, that you are manifesting, right? Some of you are meant to be in a really strong relationship with someone that is quite spiritual and deep, and I feel like this is a huge part of who you are. It's love, right? I feel like you guys are like pure love deep down. Very nurturing, very understanding, Three of Swords. Oh. I also see that you've had to deal with a lot of heartbreak in your life. It could be that you have had relationships that have been really difficult, and maybe people have betrayed you in some kind of way, and it's left you walking away feeling really wounded. It could have made you feel really left out in the cold. Um, But I do want to tell you, group three, that if you haven't already, you are meant to be with someone incredible. I do want to say that. I feel like you are meant to be in a really strong, loving relationship with someone. I feel like that's what your soul yearns for. Yeah. I feel like some of you, very recently, something has ended in your life, or you've kind of had some sort of tower moment. I'm hearing spiritual awakening for some of you, where you've realized something really big. And I think that things have just kind of, could have been that you went through a period where things just changed like really suddenly, like something really suddenly just ended or changed, and you thought, what is going on? However, you used your intuition to guide you through this. Yeah, I feel like you've had to walk away from a lot of things that were not serving you. It could be that you've put a lot of your time and energy and emotion into situations or people or things, um, and you felt like it just wasn't either reciprocated enough, or it's like you wasted your emotions or your time, your energy, and you felt very depleted like that. I also feel like you're not afraid to walk away from things that you know are not for your highest good, right? I think you're recognizing that with that Knight of Pentacles. It's showing me that you are a very consistent person. I feel like you are willing to put in consistent time and energy to reach your goals. I feel like maybe you're not, um, it could be that you're not necessarily the fastest moving, but I feel like you have definite staying power, you have willpower, You do have that lasting drive. I love that. Very kind of earthy energy again. Um, Who is pile three spirit? What do you want pile three to know about themselves? Who is pile three? What do you want them to know about themselves, spirit? Who is pile three? What do you want them to know about themselves? Who is pile three? What do you want them to, oh my gosh, know about themselves? Mm, the Seven of Cups. I feel like you have a very strong imagination, or your dreams are sort of really vivid. You like to spend a lot of time maybe fantasizing about a lot of things. It could be that um, maybe you have like shiny object syndrome. Some people have that where they see like something like shiny and they're like, I want that, but then they're kind of um, they find it hard to pick. So maybe you are a person that likes to keep your options open for some of you. I feel like if you have worked in um jobs that were, for example, minimum wage, and it felt like you're putting in time and effort and energy and just not seeing the results that you wanted, I feel like you definitely walked away from that. I feel like you're unwilling to settle for that. Really and truly, I feel like you are wanting to invest your time and energy into things that are really going to grow into something special, right? I feel like you guys maybe have felt like you've met with a lot of resistance when it comes to certain things, right? Like certain things have just felt um really difficult, or it could be this energy of kind of confrontation. But I feel like you surmount whatever obstacles lie in your way, is the energy that I'm getting from that Seven of Wands. I feel like um you do have perseverance and staying power, and I feel like you do honestly just you surmount whatever obstacles are in your way. I feel like you're willing to fight for things that you really care about. With that King of Cups in reverse, I think you are very wise and deep. I think that not, I feel like the depth of your emotions actually runs and goes so deep that not many people either see it or you maybe don't understand or know the full extent of this, because you do have a lot of empathy, group 3. I want to say that you are very deep. um I feel like you guys are, you like to win. I feel like a lot of people admire you. I want to say that. I feel like a lot of people recognize and admire you and actually look up to you. Some of you may be like attention. Not that that's a bad thing. And you like to be recognized, or you like to be maybe in the spotlight in some kind of way. And for people to admire you, and to recognize your brilliance and your worth. Um, but I feel here that you are just, it's like you're wired to be victorious. You like being victorious. You don't take no for an answer, that kind of thing. Some of you might be quite competitive as well, or you really enjoy competition. You like winning a lot. Um, let's see. The Chariot, oh my god. What did I say? You surmount whatever obstacles lie in your way. You are meant to be successful. I want to say that, group 3. You are meant to be successful. I feel like you're very good at taking problem solving. I'm hearing you're very good at taking charge of situations and finding solutions. you maybe have big dreams or big aspirations that you are very kind of determined to meet. I feel like you are a very determined person. For sure, I'm getting very kind of stubborn energy of you. Let's pull a few more cards for you. Here's card three. Okay. Hmm. Pile three, I want to say that sometimes I feel like you find it really hard to let go of things. Some of you might be quite sentimental, you have just a really hard time letting go of things, especially things that are familiar to you or comfortable for you, and you find it hard to kind of move away from that. But what I want to say is that that kind of actually causes you to stagnate. And it causes delays when it comes to kind of going towards the goals and the things that you want. Um, because sometimes we hold on to things that may not necessarily be good for us, right? Just because something's become um, comfortable, it doesn't mean that it's the best thing for us, right? It could be a sign that we are needing to go in a different direction to experience um, growth and progression, expansion. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, Paul 3. I think you guys are amazing, and yeah, let me know if that resonated, and thank you for watching.